So we're looking at what I assume to be a giant monster. So Ryan, lead this off. I'm assuming this is a double page spread. What did you want to accomplish here?
Its scope and its size, and in order for the mythology and the logic of this story to work, this had to be the biggest kaiju you'd ever seen. We actually have a scale drawing that shows the bus and how big the monster is that we imagined and that we had to have, so we could understand how that story could be told inside of it and that there could be movement, right? So this splash page not only shows you the scope and the size, but it also gives you that cinematic language of how our story is going to be told, which means it's going to be punctuated by giant moments of scope interspersed between the smaller, more contained, tight spaces of storytelling.
Is this over here in the bottom right corner? Is this like a rowboat or something, just to give you a little bit of scale?
Not a rowboat. That's like a pretty big fishing trawler.
So that gives you a sense like, okay, we're in for something really big. Why go double spread? Like, is that just to get the full breadth of what you can do in the impact of telling that story?
I felt like it was the right place to do it because you see this fishing trawler and then you see this container ship that's like they're going to get caught in its wake. And then you see that thing get ripped in half like it's like paper by the kaiju. So yeah, figured you got to go big here. I mean, it's Behemoth.
How challenging did you find it to write your page pacing to make sure that you had that double page spread? Because not everything is a facing page. What kind of challenges did you face when you were plotting this out versus plotting out a movie?
I mean, it's a very easy answer. We had Jay, and he said, we have to do it this way. Like, we would say, oh, well, can we do this? And if we have this, he'd be like, no. This page ended here, and he laid out the pages. Remember that on the paper? He would like lay it out and say, see, you're going to flip here. So we've got it. If we're going to tell this piece of the story and you want it to be big, we got to finish that piece of the scene here. Otherwise, we can't do it over here. So it just became this thing where Jay would be like, guiding us essentially and reining us in and saying, this is how we have to tell the story on the page, versus if you're doing it in a movie or any other medium.
So Ryan, you are a screenwriter. I mean, you're known for Rampage and Beast, so that you're not unfamiliar with writing. How did this experience differ from plain words on a page to literally art directing with your artist? How did that experience differ?
So it was a 16-page story that we had, right? I believe it was like a 16-page document that was the entire story that we were going to tell. It was this process of shrinking and removing everything that was unnecessary for the comic. It was only necessary for the comic, I should say. The hardest part for me wasn't even this splash page stuff or the cool action. The hardest part for me was the sacrifices you made with character, where you couldn't tell this little piece of character story, or you couldn't tell that little piece of character story. It's really hard to express that emotion and get it across from a dialogue standpoint and just from a length standpoint. And then you get Jay, and Jay does it really beautifully in pictures. There's a lot of art where you can get a close up on one of our characters' faces, and Jay just sells it so well. It's so cool.